Hello learner, welcome again to Manifested e-learning platform. We are going to continue our lessons on three-dimensional geometry, and today we are going to look at what we call skew lines. The objective of the lesson will be able, at the end of the lesson, the learner should be able to identify what skew lines are. What skew lines are in any given three-dimensional geometry. So the lesson today we are talking about skew lines. So as we proceed, there are a new word there. At least most of you will know what lines are. But skew in easy terms means lines which are not parallel. We can even later come and have skew planes. They are not parallel. It would mean they are not parallel. In three-dimensional geometry, we are bound to find such lines. We are bound to find such lines. So in three-dimensional geometry, we are bound to find lines which are not parallel. We always refer to them as skew lines. So you can say so what you should also note, in most cases, most of these lines do not lie in the same plane. In most cases. So in most cases, most of these lines do not lie in the same plane. So you can have these. So you can better understand that if we have such a cuboid in the name of L, M, N, S, R, P, Q, R, S, L, M, N, O. Looking at that cuboid, you can be solved lines Q to PS. You can take a line like PS, lines skew to PS. You'll find most of them will not be parallel to PS. So we can like to find lines skew to PS. We can try to find lines skew to PS. Lines skew to PS. So you'll go to a definition that lines in three-dimension dimension geometry, lines which are not parallel are referred to as skew lines. In most cases, they do not lie in the same plane. So if we are taking PS, we have our line in question there, PS. PS. We are looking at PS. There are several lines which will be skew to PS, and we are told they will not be parallel. In most cases, they do not lie in the same plane. So we can come and look at those lines. We can have LO. LO is a line skew to PS is a line skew to PS. We can have MN. MN is a line skew to PS. So you can have LO and MN. Those are lines which are skew to PS. Even if we had another midpoint here, so before you go to the midpoint, you should exhaust the points there. You should exhaust the points there. So you are told the angle so that's a typical example. The angle between two skew lines is found by translating that line to the plane belonging to the other line. So if I have PS, I was told it was skew to LO. I'll translate it down to that plane. I'll translate it down to that plane and it will actually come and be patched to LM. So you'll find that is the angle. That is the angle. So if I want to find, there was MN, you'll translate to that plane. Translate to MN. You'll be forced now to translate it to that plane. You'll translate it to that plane. You'll translate it to that plane. So you'll find still the lines will not be parallel to each other. They'll still be skew lines. So we can come and find lines skew to PS, and we are still to find angle between LM and PR. So we shall still use our diagram LM and PR. LM and PR. LM and PR. What are we supposed to do? We want to find the angle between LM and PR. So this is the PR in question. PR in question. What will you do? You'll translate that PR to the plane belonging to this. Its corresponding length will come to, I've said LM and PR. After translating that PR, you'll get this angle. That angle is actually angle NLM. How have I found that? I've translated PR to the plane of the other line, and the other line is the angle between LM and PR. I've translated PR to land on the plane of LM. So the angle on that between the lines will be the angle is NLM. We can still move further and find the angle between between the angle between SQ and MN. QS, let's say QS and MN. You'll still come to the diagram QS. So I'll translate QS up to the bottom. So if I translate, this will be patched on the base below. So that angle will be NMO. The angle is NMO. Not what we are doing to get the angles between the skew lines. We are translating one of the lines. So it will be the same as translating this MN to the top, isn't it? You can still get the other angle as QSR or QSR, angle QSR. Let's look at the top. Can we find another angle? It was LM and PR. LM, PR. Can we find another angle? Yes. We can still translate LM to the plane of that other line. You'll still find this angle RPS. RPS. That will still be another angle between those two skew lines. So to develop more on that, so at this point I hope the learner knows how to get angles between two skew lines. And we've seen that in all cases, the lines are not parallel. How do you get the angle between the lines? We translate one of the lines to the plane belonging to the other line. You'll be able to get your angle between the skew lines. So at that junction, I hope the learner has digested those principles about identifying two skew lines. You'll find they are not parallel. Like this line will never be parallel to that. This line will never be parallel to this one. So those ones will be referred to as skew lines. So for the assignment, you'll have to work out it is from KLB. For those who don't know, Kenya Literature Bureau, it is that text. I'll give the assignment there. KLB exercise 5.1, number 1. That will give you a proper understanding of what we have about skew lines and maybe finding the angles between the skew lines. So at that juncture, I hope you'll get the solutions correctly and enjoy after getting those answers. So have a nice time and let's meet in the next lesson. Bye-bye.